Donald Trump is not focused on bringing down the cost of groceries, rent, making it less expensive to buy a house, making gas cheaper. No, Donald Trump's focus is on distracting you from the fact that he does not care about those things and is not doing anything to fix problems in your life. The fact that his administration, only 3 weeks in, has already been one of the biggest disasters, both in terms of its criminality, corruption, and inability to get anything done that we have seen in American history. That's what Donald Trump wants to do. He wants to distract. And for some reason recently, the focus that he's used to distract has been on pushing a hoax about climate change. You would think after seeing hurricanes ravage the Southeast and fires break out all across LA, Republicans might move away from this, but no, of course not. And we saw one of the wildest examples in a post Donald Trump just made. But before we get into that, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really means the world to me. Now, before we get into this post from Donald Trump, like I said, Republicans are trying to distract, and there was one Republican other than Donald Trump who really tried to do that in this clip right here.
The gentlewoman from Colorado is recognized for 2.5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Mr. Chairman, for bringing this bill to the floor. And I want to thank also the lead sponsor of this bill, my colleague from Texas, August Pfluger. I rise in support of the Protecting American Energy Production Act. This bill will protect American oil and natural gas production by preventing any president from declaring a moratorium on hydraulic fracturing. 4 years ago, Joe Biden waged an all-out war on American energy production, from shutting down the Keystone XL pipeline, canceling oil and gas leases on millions of acres, locking up federal lands, threatening Colorado energy jobs, canceling Colorado energy jobs, and countless other anti-energy measures that have contributed to gas prices and inflation reaching record levels. The American people spoke in November. They spoke loud and they spoke very clearly. They resoundingly said, "Drill, baby, drill." I am proud of President Trump's executive orders to get our country back in the right direction for drilling, but it is up to us in the House now to do our part and pass legislation to codify what President Trump is doing boldly each and every day in the White House. I am proud of his new Energy Secretary, Chris Wright from Colorado, and Interior Secretary Doug Burgum. They have already started to make good on their promises to unleash American energy and put energy workers in my home state of Colorado back to work. We are tired of relying on OPEC and our adversaries for energy. It's time to bring back and rely on the American roughneck. It is time to terminate the Green New Scam. President Trump is committed to doing that. And we hear about subsidies for oil and gas from my colleagues on the other side of the aisle. But what the American people aren't hearing is the $235 billion to clean energy production tax credits, $110 billion to clean energy investment tax credits, EV tax credits at $316 billion, $203 billion to advanced manufacturing production tax, and many more, equaling over $1 trillion tax dollars. We can end the Green New Scam. We can bring back oil and gas. My colleague and freshman from Colorado, Congressman Jeff Hurd, has the local act to bring the BLM headquarters back to Colorado so we have boots on the ground and can drill, baby, drill. I yield.
I reserve.
Gentleman reserves, and the gentleman from California is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Wow. Does Lauren Boebert sound about as dumb as ever? And that's a pretty high bar to reach, the Lauren Boebert levels of stupidity. But congratulations to her from, again, trying to distract. And it seems like a really strange thing to do right now. I haven't heard Lauren Boebert in the past 2.5 years of the Republican majority in the House introduce a bill that would help her constituents in any way whatsoever, or vote on one introduced by Democrats that would. No, but she loves taking credit for bills she votes against. But like I said, it's all a distraction, these ridiculous talking points. And that's why Trump said this in a clip we're going to check out right here.
Because the environmentalists didn't want water, They still don't want it. If they had their choice, they don't want it. I said, are you crazy? And I'm sure you've seen it, the water comes down from the northwest parts of Canada, I guess, but the Pacific Northwest, and it comes down by millions and millions of barrels a day. And I opened it up. It wasn't that easy to do, but I opened it up and it's pouring down, and it's a beautiful thing. And it should have happened. I told them to do it in my last term. They didn't do it, but now we just did it. They didn't want to do it, but we did it.
It's really interesting how they're always looking for a new boogeyman. Even though Donald Trump is in power and he has both chambers of Congress, he doesn't really seem intent on getting any of his legislation that he's promised through there. Now, that could be for two reasons. The first, which is one that can bring you a little bit of hope, is that they are so dysfunctional in that MAGA house of theirs that they couldn't possibly get anything done. And that's a lot of the reporting we're hearing right now, that Mike Johnson has no control over a very divided Republican caucus, and so Donald Trump doesn't want to put his bills through. Now, the other scarier alternative is that Donald Trump just wants to put as much power in the presidency as possible, and so, of course, he doesn't want to go through Congress. Why would he? He wants to be a dictator. It's what he promised. But in order to do that, like I said, he has to distract with these weird boogeymen, these weird culture war issues, and just these nonsense talking points. That is exactly what this post was right here. Crooked Joe's mandate, no plastic straws, only paper, is dead. Enjoy your next drink without a straw that disgustingly dissolves in your mouth. We did it, America. Inflation is 0. Eggs are 50 cents. Everyone can buy a house. Rent is cheap. Everything's great because we're drinking out of plastic straws again, which I think most people did. I don't even know what this mandate, what does he mean? This plastic straws everywhere. What is he what is he talking about? And it's been funny to watch the right-wing influencers and anyone in MAGA world talk about how much Donald Trump has accomplished. Oh, Donald. Oh, we love you, Donald. You've done so much great stuff. Elon Musk, I forgot about this. It was 2 days ago and I forgot. But he posted, not only should Donald Trump be on Mount Rushmore, but Elon said he wants to chisel his face in himself. Pretty weird. But over what? What has Trump accomplished that he set out to on the campaign trail? Well, we know he's trying to go through the checklist to Project 2025, but he said he had nothing to do with that. Russ Vought wrote it and is now in Trump's administration, but sure, he had nothing to do with it. But what is it that you're so excited about? It's the culture war issues. It's owning the libs. It's attacking trans kids who want to play sports in middle school and high school. It's renaming the Gulf of Mexico. It's making your prescription drugs cost more. Republicans never cared about the cost of eggs. It's the reason they're not doing anything about it now that they're in power. It's all just a game for them. That's what they care about. That is what they're focused on. But we can't be. We have to focus on what actually matters. Right now, that's fighting against Elon. Even more so than Trump lately. Elon's been the president between the two of them that's done the most damage. And that's exactly what Tim Miller was calling out. And a clip I want to check out right here. Good friend of the show, Tim Miller. Let's take a look.
So, Tim, Yamiche, you heard touch on the Washington Post report that constituents are flooding lawmakers with calls about Elon Musk. Listen to this. Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski said the Senate's phones were getting 1,600 calls a minute compared with the typical 40. I mean, that is a stunning difference. Is the chaos that Trump and Musk are unleashing on the government exactly what Democrats warned would happen before the election? And have you noticed any Republicans or Trump voters expressing any buyer's remorse?
It is what Democrats warned of. I did see there's an article this morning that and we at the Bulwark do some focus groups where you heard from some people that were Trump voters who said that this was chaos that they were not looking for. So we have seen, a couple of examples of that. That's anecdotes. It's not data at this point. It's pretty early. But just as a general principle, if you stand back, like Trump has succeeded with voters when he is doing his kind of PR game. game, right? Which is a lot of pomp and circumstance, a lot of brashness, attacking foes, but then not actually doing a whole lot. Like, you remember the first term, like all of the discussion of the wall and immigrants and how much the wall actually got built, not that much. Elon is kind of doing the opposite, right? Like, they are doing the Silicon Valley move fast and break things strategy. That is less popular with voters than Trump's, smoke and mirrors strategy, if you will. And I do think that tension is going to come into focus even more over the next few months.
Can you give me a sense, Tim, what the best way is for the public to fight back? Is it grassroots efforts, protests like the one we saw across the country this week?
Look, yeah, I mean, I think that calling Congress does make a difference. Look, the Republicans have very narrow majorities in Congress. And so I think particularly, if you are from a state like where you have a senator like Lisa Murkowski, Bill Cassidy here in Louisiana, it seems like he folded on the RFK secretary vote, but he was on the fence for that for a while. I think pressuring those types of Republicans is useful. A lot of this stuff is going to be in the courts, right? So a lot of this stuff is legal. And so the regular Americans that are lawyers will be involved in that, not regular folks. And then I think in the government, federal government employees are going to have to speak out. And I think that you're seeing this already with reaching out to people who are involved in USAID. Democrats are going to have to put a face on the people that are doing this work. What kind of work are they doing? There's an example, down here in Louisiana, there's this group that we volunteer with that does tree planting. They're like, we get funded through the U.S. forestry. Right, the tree planters, like the farmers, the tree farmers are going to get hurt by this. The guys that are doing the delivery, right? So putting faces on this that are not just bureaucrats.
We have to be on this all the time, not only because what Elon is doing is incredibly dangerous, but because I sense a bit of a rift. I think a rift is coming between Donald and his billionaire buddy, and I think it's about to get bigger. And I think it's going to cause them some problems. I'm smiling just thinking about it. A little bit of fighting. We'd like a little bit of fighting between them. I think we deserve it. I think we earned it. And we're going to talk about that every single day on this show. I think these past couple of days, I'm going to be honest with y'all, I think there has been some inability to modulate emotions and feelings from me when talking about some of these guys. I try to keep it as professional as possible. Y'all come here for good news, and sometimes it's not good, but well reported as much as possible. So I appreciate y'all understanding. Sometimes I just kind of got to lose it a bit, and I'm sure you're feeling the same way. And so I hope that makes you feel better about it all. Jeez, these guys will get you down, but we'll stay up together. And if you want to support that, as always, hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video, and if you stuck around at the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. Until next time, I'll see you soon.